How are you guys doing today?
Doing great, thanks. How about you?
I'm good.
Awesome.
Thanks for asking. Okay, so we're going to start off with question 1. How has softball impacted you guys' life? Because I know like with Lakeshore Storm, you guys starting that, it's been like a big part in your guys' life, so what has been like a major impact on it?
You want me to go first?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, softball's been a part of my life my entire life. So as a player and an athlete, and then when I retired from playing, I went into coaching and we started Lakeshore Storm. Lakeshore Storm and our business has impacted it tremendously because it allowed us, and specifically me, to give back to others the passion and the love that I have for the game. And it brings a sense of wholeness and fulfillment of happiness and competitiveness, and an opportunity for me to still feel as though I'm competitive and competing even though I'm not on the field playing.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So with you growing up around softball, how have been like some major challenges that you guys have faced? Like the different diversity or just different things, like what has been like an impact or major challenge?
Do you want to answer that
No,
for baseball?
you answer that one from a softball perspective.
All right. Are you thinking of challenges that I've faced personally, or that I have
With
seen
forming the business.
with forming the business?
Yes.
There's a lot of legalities of forming a business and making sure that you understand all the rules and regulations, and that's been a challenge. Quite honestly, I've had a business background, but not in accounting and financials, so that's been a huge whirlwind to try to learn all of the financial aspect of owning my own business. But you create relationships with other people who have those strengths and that wisdom and knowledge, and they teach you and they educate you, and you learn from trial and error. Diversity side of things, I've faced some diversity where it's more of the economic, where athletes may not have been able to financially afford to play competitive ball, and in those instances we look for sponsorships and businesses who will donate to our organization, which will then help fund some of the athletes' player fees. And they've done their own individual like pop can drives or whatnot in order to play, because we want to make sure to give every athlete an opportunity and never let somebody go not being able to play because they can't afford it.
Mm-hmm. And I know that you guys are a nonprofit organization. Why is that?
We're nonprofit because the size of our organization, it helps with the cost of our uniforms and equipment, and you're not able to get sponsorships. Well, you can get sponsorships, but most companies won't donate or sponsor to your company unless you're a nonprofit 501c3, so they are able to get a receipt and be able to write it off on their taxes. So we learned that by going with a nonprofit allowed us to have more of a financial support from our community businesses.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Matt,
Yes.
why do you love softball? Like, why didn't you choose like baseball over softball? Because I know that you've coached more with softball than baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Considering that you are a guy and you have played baseball, why did you choose to coach softball?
Mm-hmm. Great question. So baseball's always been a passion for me, and I've loved that since I've been 3 years old. I played baseball all the way through high school and little leagues, and then when I was turned on to softball, I found that the game moves much faster. There's a little more strategy to it. But the one thing that I do enjoy most about softball over baseball is the speed in which the game's played. Mm-hmm. Baseball moves at a little bit slower pace, which I still love, but the softball side moves at a much quicker pace, which I really, really enjoy being a part of.
I think I would love to add to it another thing that I've even seen between baseball and softball. The female athlete practicing and playing the game brings a higher level of excitement and energy to that sport specifically over what baseball players do as a norm, because the game goes so much faster and it's such a smaller field and things happen quicker, and so it keeps you more energized and there's more oomph, more pizzazz.
Mm-hmm. So, Deb, why did you start Storm in the first place?
I started Lakeshore Storm back in 2007 because my oldest daughter was ill, and at the time the community was not allowing fast pitch softball, live arm to occur until 5th and 6th grade. And being a college coach, I saw that our community was so far behind communities as close as Hudsonville on East in Michigan, and we needed to do something about it. So I was coaching a fast pitch team that was made up of live arm slash machine pitch, and some parents reached out to me and said, hey, would you be willing to expand this and move this into, take this team and start playing travel softball as well. I had no idea what I was doing because I was a college softball coach, but I knew I wanted to be able to give more to the kids. So I started it, and had I known where we were at, I had no idea what was to come. I thought it was just going to be a couple of years and be done. And 15 years later, we're growing and thriving and doing fantastic.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Why did you call your guys' organization Lakeshore Storm?
I don't remember how we came up with the name. Of course, along the lakeshore, that was the lakeshore part of it.
When we decided to do this, I was working with Darren Deistermars with Holland Charter Township, because our team was through Holland Charter Township Recreation. And I said to him, hey, we're looking at expanding out and doing travel. He goes, well, what about naming it the Holland Storm? And I'm like, no, I don't want to keep it specific just to Holland. I like the idea of lakeshore and storm because we get different types of storm coming off of the lake. And we just thought that would be pretty unique and different. So we came up with the name of Lakeshore Storm.
Mm-hmm. But if you really think about it, storms aren't the color orange, blue, and white. So how did you get those colors from a storm?
Coach Matt?
Yeah, we took those from Hope College. When we were coaching at Hope College, we took those colors from there.
Oh, that's awesome. So what are some of your guys' goals that you have for Storm in the future?
Oh, wow. That's tough. I think the biggest goal for me is just to see competitive teams continue to develop and continue to give the athletes opportunities for college scholarships, make varsity softball, their freshman, sophomore year of high school, moving on, playing in collegiate level, and just having the goal of success and the kids really thriving, playing, and being able to give back to the community with community service.
Mm-hmm. Matt, how has Storm impacted your life today? Like, where do you think you would be at? Do you think that you would just be coaching a random team, or do you think you would be coaching all if you didn't have Storm?
And that's a really great question. Hard to answer because, again, I had not had a softball background prior to 2001 when I took over as the pitching coach at Hope College, and I really didn't know the sport of softball all that well, but continued to learn and train and just became more and more of a passion and a love that I've had. And then, of course, starting our own organization, it really continued to thrive on that and continue to learn the sport. Where would I be if we wouldn't be doing this? I don't know if I could even give you an answer to that. This has been such a part of our lives for so long that I just don't know where else it would be.
Mm-hmm. For sure. I know that a lot of organizations have mottos. What do you think your guys' motto would be? Or what is your motto?
Stay together, play together, win together, Storm.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you guys,
sorry, babe attitude.
Sorry, babe attitude.
could you guys expand on that more? Like, what does a sorry babe attitude mean?
That goes back to my playing days in college. So as a player, and then when I started coaching at Hope, we came up with the motto of sorry babe, and I use it still to this day to let our athletes know, never feel defeated and never feel that that you're gonna lose. Hey, sorry babe, I'm gonna prove you wrong. Or if somebody says, you know what, you can't beat that team, or there's no way you're gonna hit a home run, or you're not gonna be able to throw a shutout or a no-hitter. Sorry babe, I'm gonna prove you wrong. And it's meant to be very positive and very energizing, and to let every athlete know that there's nothing stopping you from what you can do besides yourself in your mind.
Yeah, that was a great answer. You guys have done very well with your organization from personal experience. And just for all the softball lovers out there, we all really appreciate what you guys are doing. So
Thank you.
thank you very much, and thank you for letting me ask you some questions today.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. You had great questions.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Have a good night.
And you too.
Thanks.
Go Storm.
Go Storm.